Hi from the Eurobike trade show in Friedrichshafen, Germany. I'm John Stevenson with BikeRadar.com, and I'm here on the SR Suntour booth with Darren Salisbury, who's the product development guy for SR Suntour. We're going to take a look at some of SR Suntour's new forks. Darren, good morning.
Hi there. What we're here with right now is the new Axon Works RC. We're very proud of this fork. It has been piloted to a World Cup overall by Julie Brissett this year and to a World Marathon Championship by Annika Langved.
Tell us about some of the technical details that set this fork above everybody else's products.
We have a brand new cartridge damper for it. We remove 50 grams of weight and increase the bump sensitivity, performance, and the dynamic nature of the damper. We have a hollow crown, and that took a good chunk of weight off, and it also improved stiffness. New progressive air spring, so we changed the spring curve from previous models. Gives more small bump sensitivity, but still gives a nice ramp up at the end so you don't bottom out. So you have a carbon fiber and magnesium hybrid fork. It's very stiff, and again, we reduced weight. And last thing down here is we're tying it all together with a lightweight yet stiff QLock 15mm through axle.
Speed of service is something that is a bit of a plank of SR Suntour's design philosophy.
Yeah, and the QLock, it's simple and it's safe, and it actually is even faster than if you had a 9mm quick release.
And I gather that extends to the cartridges. You can see you've got a couple of cartridges in your hand there. So talk us through the design philosophy of the internals of this fork and of the other forks in the line.
I'll show you last year's cartridge first. And it basically just had a rebound adjustment on the bottom and a lockout on the top. What we've been able to do is reduce the oil volume, and we still have the rebound at the bottom, and we've now included a low-speed compression adjuster and the lockout still. So reduced weight, improved sensitivity, and the riders can really fine-tune the low-speed compression to their liking.
And if a mechanic has to do any work on this fork, it's a simple matter of swapping out the cartridge?
They can swap out the cartridge. You know, our team guys, our World Cup, could even, I guess, fine-tune the shims if they wanted to, and oil weights. So, and they're very, very easy to rebuild. So this goes back to a 10-year philosophy of having a quick service product, QSP, we call it, and it makes life easy. Like, we're lazy. We don't want to work on our bikes either. We want to be out there riding.
A lot of new detail there on the Axon fork. Let's go and take a look at the next one up in travel in the line. So this is the Epicon. This is a longer travel fork.
Yeah, so the Epicon benefited from a lot of the research and development that was done by the engineering group on the Axon, and they've brought it into the trail forks too. So we now have on this Epicon X1 is a hollow crown. So we've brought that increase in stiffness and reduction in weight, low-speed compression adjustment, lockout, reduced weight in the damper, and it's a rock star as far as, you know, like a trail rider looking for like that 120 to 150mm travel bike. Still have the QLock system in there, so we're again boosting that stiffness with the 15mm through axle. Still very fast in and out. You can get like 100 to 120mm 29 version of all this with all those same features.
So what's next in the line in the extra fork travel?
Let's go take a look at the Durolux. This is the all-mountain offering that we have, and a lot of what we have learned about this fork category has come through our sponsorship of Mega Avalanche. So we've been, you know, showing up every year, watching, you know, thousands of riders participate in this event. It's a rad event, you know, like mass start. You almost need a downhill bike until you realize you have to climb. So that's kind of where you're having this balance between weight and high speed, big travel performance. So the Durolux, some of the updates that we've given it this year is there's a new damper, and we have high and low speed compression adjustment. So with a longer travel, more aggressive use, unlike the other forks we've looked at, you need to have high speed compression as well to handle the bigger hits and the higher speeds. Still 7000 series aluminum, but now you see the stanchion size is beefed up to a 35mm. So still lightweight with the aluminum, but it needs the extra stiffness that's required in this category. Magnesium lower, post-mount direct, and then now our QLock system bumps up to a 20mm. So the same fast, easy to use system, but in a 20mm. This fork is available in a couple different air spring configurations. One is a TA, which is a travel adjust system, and that can be 180 down to 140 or 160 down to 120. There's a fixed travel, so you can get the fork in either 180 millimeters or 160. 160 is definitely the most popular. What we've been doing is taking a good thing and making it great by improving dampers, improving air springs, those kind of things. So it started out as a good fork and it's gone to a great fork in my opinion.
Okay, and finally, let's go and take a look at your new dirt jump fork. So Darren, this is the Duro dirt jump fork. Tell us about this model.
Yeah, the Duro DJ, this is a new version that we have this year. We still have the old model in the lineup, but with riders, you know, the tricks are so complex and they need reduced weight. So we've put the Duro on a diet. So starting at the top, we have a reinforced alloy steer tube. So it has much more material than your average alloy steer tube from us, very strong, but still lightweight. We have 7000 series alloy stanchions. These are 32 millimeter stanchions. So that helped reduce the weight. Also now available in an air spring. So take the coil out. The coil option is still available for it, but I think a lot of guys are going to enjoy that they can, you know, adjust the pressure, fine tune it with the air spring. Another thing we kept hearing back from riders is, you know, like as you're pedaling into a jump, you need the fork to have a, you know, pedaling platform of sorts, you know. So we've added a low-speed compression adjuster and it has a very wide tuning range. So you can set the fork up to have a very nice, you know, stiff feel when you don't want it to bob as you're approaching a jump. Same robust magnesium casting that we've had in the past. If you look, like the arch and area is beefier than your average cross-country fork, and our philosophy is that the 15 millimeters is really more for trail use, and so we stick with a 20 millimeter QLock through axle. Again, still fastest through axle on the planet. Post mount direct on the brakes completes the job of when you do have to stop. So.
That was Darren Salisbury, product development guy for SR Suntour. I'm John Stevenson from BikeRadar.com at the Eurobike trade show in Friedrichshafen, Germany.